Hey guys, coming to you from my toolbox underneath the truck. I did shave my beard off. It was getting a little scraggly, but hold on. Chains. That's right, we're gonna talk about chains. All right, so we're gonna talk about chains, but first, check it out. You know my Peterbilt hat, right? Do you remember my Kenworth hat? I got another one because the other one blew off my head in Wyoming like 6 months ago. Although I probably wouldn't have bought it had I known it's a Kenworth right here, but that's okay. All I saw was this top side. This is pretty much just like my Kenworth hat that I had before. And it's not bad. It's a nice hat. Nice. Sticks to your head. So, but right, Freightliner hat right there. See it? Freightliner. Gotta have pride in your ride, right? So I'm having pride in my ride. Anyway, so I want to talk to you guys about chains today, okay? And we're going to go over kind of some information real quick about chains that I think you need to know. So, hold on, let me get my notes out. Okay, so no notes, but here's what I found out online, all right? Basically, you're going to need about 8 single chains, okay? You can have double chains, which will go over 2 tires at a time. That's what I bought. But what you really need is 8 single chains, between 6 and 8 single chains. So you need 4 chains for your drives, you need 2 chains for the trailers, and then you need 2 spares. Washington State actually does mandate spares. Mandate. I was wanting to say mandatory and mandate, and I said mandate. Anyway, mandatory that you have spares for your chains. So you can get, you need 1 spare as far as that's concerned, but you can't really get one single chain. You can only get them in a set, so that's 2, so that's 8 chains. Some people are saying you can get away with 6. It's up to you. You want to try to get away with 6. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It just depends. Okay. But that's basically what you need as far as chains are concerned. Some states are different on when they require it, but the biggest one, the one that's going to get you, is Colorado. Colorado requires it from September 1st to May 31st, right then. And it requires it between Dotsero and Golden, Colorado, all right? But they're going to check, they may check you as you go through one of their weigh stations in, like, somewhere else in the state. So you want to make sure that you have the chains available. With that being said, just kind of like, because they don't know where you're going to go. You can go like, oh, I'm never going to go over I-70. I don't do that kind of stuff. I stay off it. And then you could be lying to them. They don't know. So they're going to check. So that's kind of what you need to know as far as that's concerned. Now, I have chains. I bought chains. When I get pulled into Colorado and they go, where are your chains? I'm going to be like, they're right there, officer. I'll put up my toolbox. All right. The deal is I'm never going to throw those chains. Those chains are never going to leave that bag. All right. And the reason why is because I pay attention to the weather. That's what I do. If it even remotely looks like it's going to snow at all, and there might be the possibility that they're going to throw chains, even like 15% possibility, I don't go that direction. I find a way around. And the story I'm going to tell you is this, okay? Because everything's got a story. But, and then I'll show you the apps that I use for this. Because I took a video showing you the apps that I use to kind of do this stuff. But anyway, last year, right after I was buying the, I think it was right after I started buying the Kenworth, okay? We'll put the Kenworth hat on while I tell the story, right? No, we won't, because I don't know where I put it. Anyway. So, it was over there in the chair somewhere. There it is. Hold on. Kenworth hat. Okay. When I was buying the Kenworth, all right, one of the things that I did was I was coming out of Salt Lake City somewhere at some point, and I decided that I was going to pay attention to the weather. So I look it up, and the weather in Wyoming looks like terrible, and the weather in Colorado looks a little bit better, and it looks like it might be snowing on the route through Moab. Okay, go down through Moab and come out through New Mexico and all that stuff. And so I didn't want to go that way. And I didn't want to go through Wyoming, where it was going to get really bad, where it was already really bad, where there were places that they had the chain law down, and they were requiring that you have chains, or you were going to get stuck somewhere. So I didn't want to go that way, but Colorado looked pretty clear. So I decided, all right, that's the way I'm going to go. So I drove down to Grand Junction, Colorado, and I get to Grand Junction, Colorado, and I think I pulled in that night, and I get up the next day, and I pulled in like 6 or 8 or something like that. So I get up the next day about 6, and I look at the road conditions on Colorado on cotrip.org. Okay, and they say the chain law's down. I'm like, crap. So I'm like, okay, well, it's supposed to warm up at some point, so they may pull chain law back up. So I go in and I sit, and finally I just, I didn't really worry about it, and finally what happened was about midday, about noon or so, they cleared chain law, and I got in my truck, 3 hours up over the hill, and I was in Denver, and I didn't have to worry about it anymore, and it was going to be nice in Denver. So I don't throw chains. I pay attention to the weather, I pay attention to the road conditions. And so since I've said that, I'm going to pull up, I'm going to add in the video now. We're going to go to the video where I show you all the apps I use. It's weather apps, all that stuff. But the main thing, 2 things you got to know. Get the stuff that, go get the stuff I'm telling you to get. But the other thing I want you guys to get is...
Nice. Partly cloudy with a low near 70.
Weather radio.
For Wednesday,
this is my CB. It's a Cobra like 29 LX or something like that. But it has a weather radio in it. Either get a weather radio or get a CB. I think you need a CB anyways. Get a CB with a weather radio in it, and then you have the weather radio. With that, we'll go to the video. Okay, everyone. So I thought the best solution to kind of show you guys what I was talking about as far as like the apps and everything that I use in road conditions and stuff, I would just go ahead and do a screen capture on this. So let's dive into the Weather Channel app, and it will show you, let's see where I find out where I am. There I am. Okay, so there I am right there, and then this is the radar that is pulled up. It does hourly, it does daily, it does radar, and then apparently it does Dorian. So I'll give you news on Dorian, but let's go back to radar. And you can go and look on any part of the state. So like, we'll go to Colorado and see what's going on in Colorado right now. I can push past, and I could see the storms that are moving through Colorado. I could focus in on any of those storms and see where it's going and what it's doing, what highways it's on. I can hit future, and that'll tell me where that storm's going to go and everything. So it's kind of nice to have. Then there is WeatherBug. There it is. And WeatherBug's really cool because you can do different areas. So it'll do Oak Grove. That's where I'm at right now. So that's your current location. And then I can save locations other places. So there's Amarillo, there's Deland, Colorado, and then there's Vail, Colorado that I've got saved so far. But if I want to save another place, so like here's Walcott, Colorado. So I just press and hold on Walcott. It'll pull up. It'll say Edwards, Colorado, which is down here. That's where Walcott gets their information. So we'll just go down here to Edwards and save it from there. Hit the little plus button to the side, and it pops it up, and then there's a little check up in the top right corner, and you hit check, and then from now on you will be able to see what is going on in Edwards, Colorado. So I've got Edwards, Colorado clicked on it, and then I can see what's going on right now. 76, I can see what they expect hourly today, and I can see what their 10-day forecast is. Looks like it's going to rain on Sunday, tomorrow. So, and then there's the map, which is basically the same as the radar. So you can focus out and see things on here as well. It'll do the same thing. You can press this little arrow button in the bottom left, and it'll play the storm in a motion or whatever. You don't have to have these 2 apps. These are the 2 I have. Now, road conditions. Here's California highway, but the 2 that I really recommend are Colorado road conditions. Which is cotrip.org, and then you have all kinds of different information that pops up on the map here. So you can see anywhere where the road is colored right there. There's a key here. Press the little I button and towards the bottom right, and it'll pull up what the condition of each highway is. So you can see this highway here in purple is high wind, and then this highway down here in green is rain right now. So then if you want to, the other cool thing is, see these little cameras that they have everywhere? So if you click on that camera, it'll give you a picture of that highway. So you can see it's wet and rainy on that highway right now. And then if you go a little north here, you can see there are these little squares or rectangles with the 3 dots in them, that's a sign. So watch for wildlife. Look at that. That one's, and the ones that don't have the dots in them are signs that are turned off. There was one up here that was kind of interesting a minute ago. Let's see. Let's see what this one here is, since there's high wind in that area. Commercial motor vehicle restrictions, mile marker 238 to 232. And it says all commercial motor vehicles 10 foot use alternate route over 10 foot. So there's probably construction on that highway right now. If you go a little further up into the I-70 corridor, let's go back up to I-70 here. So here's the I-70 corridor. Let's go through Edwards. There's Dot Cerro. So we were talking about Dot Cerro earlier. You got cameras, regular cameras at Dot Cerro, and then you got the sign at Dot Cerro. See, here's the chain law. Must carry chains. September 1st, it's the law. Mile marker 133 to 259. So they're even letting you know. There you go. But then you've got these other cameras on 70 that are quite helpful in this case, and let me show you those. The closer you get to the top of the mountains, you get where are they? There's one. You get these, okay? And these are live cameras on the roadway, so you can see what's going on. So there's 2 miles west of Vail Pass. You can see all the cars that are going by on the highway, and this helps to see how fast traffic's moving and what the road conditions are like in that area. So that's really helpful. There's a bunch of them along here, but they're not popping up right now for some reason. Anyway, so just be aware of that. That's one, and then we'll go to Wyoming road conditions, and we'll look at theirs. I really like theirs because you can look at road conditions by route, and then so like we'll select I-80, and we'll go, and then it gives you conditions along the route. And then it also does kind of the same thing. So here is Rock Springs, but you can click on this and it'll give you pictures east and west of the road, and also a look at the road itself. And then you can hit the little thermometer and it'll tell you what's going on temperature wise and wind wise and dew point wise and humidity wise, wind direction stuff up there, so that way you can tell and everything. So they don't do the signs, but you know, that's all right. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this little segment here, and I hope it helped out a lot. Anyway, that's it. I hope that helped you guys out a lot. Now you know how I cheat, and I don't have to throw chains. I'm too fat and lazy to throw chains. I'm not gonna do it. It's just the way it is. Anyway, that's it. You guys know the drill. Keep the shiny setup. See you guys down the road.